Hello and welcome to Awakened Entrepreneur Revolution. In this podcast, you will discover how to co-create success in your business by aligning mind, body, and soul. Tune in each week to hear unconventional ways to build your business by focusing on sales and marketing energetics, mixing the woo and the do to enroll more clients, transform more lives, and create the ripple effect you know you are here to make. The traditional approach hasn't resonated with you because it is not meant for you. You've simply evolved past it. The energy is shifting. Old bro tactics and strategies are not working anymore. And you know there is a more aligned, more authentic, and far more impactful approach for you. Join me, Jana, the Authentic Sales Coach, and a special guest each week as I discover how they co-created their multi-6 and 7-figure businesses by taking inspired action and cultivating success from the inside out. Let's transcend the traditional together to massively uplevel your business and to live your purpose on purpose. Hello and welcome back to Awakened Entrepreneur Revolution. My guest today is the founder of Women in Alignment, a global networking and business growth community for female entrepreneurs. With over a decade of experience in marketing and a background in luxury retail sales with brands like BCBG, Cachet, and I don't even know how to say the other one. Kay has mastered the art of brand positioning and authentic connection. Her work centers on helping women move from uncertainty to clarity, building confidence, credibility, and consistent results in business. And now she teaches women how to be seen, respected, and profitable by aligning their message with their market. Hello, Kay Mackenzie. First things first. How do you pronounce that the one that starts with an F? The brand and marketing and luxury retail. It's Facile.
Oh, Facile Lux.
Okay. So that's what it is for everybody. I don't know that brand. And so, but I would love, so here's what I love about your story, and I can't wait to hear like the details of it, is you come from a space from experience. Like you didn't just wake up one day and go, I'm going to be a marketing coach online. And you come to the table, not just with experience, but with like brand and luxury brand experience. So please tell me, like, how did we get here? I would love to hear it.
Yeah, absolutely. My vision to create Women in Alignment started with a feeling of wanting to have more freedom and security. And initially, it started as a Facebook group to connect with like-minded entrepreneurs. And like a lot of you women watching this now, I'm sure that, COVID was a very transitional time for all of us. And I was in Turkey at the time, and it was very hard to connect with people that spoke English. So naturally, while stuck at home, I started to spend more time online, including social media. I had a side business, but I had a side business. Yeah, I had a full-time job, but I also had a side business. During COVID, I was furloughed, put on pause for a bit. And that uncertainty made me reassess my life. How do I want to move forward? Do I want to give somebody that much control over my financial future? And I was just like, absolutely not. I don't like being in this limbo position. I like to have more control over what happens. And I think, we all have free will and we're all responsible for the outcomes that we get in life. So I decided to take action, and I ventured online, and I was in different Facebook groups, and I commend the women, that went before me that I consider to be inspiration and trailblazers for leading the monetized Facebook group space. Absolutely. Which is a huge difference. I did monetize, not just having a Facebook group, but doing it with intention. So I started my Facebook group, Women in Alignment. It was simply Women in Alignment without the business networking community. And because I was in different groups, I had the option to join a spiritual group or a business networking group, but none that had both flavors, so to speak. And that's how Women in Alignment was created. And I was connecting because I started networking before I started my Facebook group. When I initially started my Facebook group, I had a community of women that were already interested in joining. So that's how that was it, essentially the start of my journey. A very long answer, but
No, no, it's perfect. And so many things that you said there that I really could just dig so much deeper into. And, I love how you said the whole like, I want to be in charge of my own future
absolutely,
and how powerful it feels when you know that it is, like, no matter
yeah,
where you're going, right? Like,
yeah,
now you've got these skill sets and you know how to take something and create wealth out of it, which is kind of
absolutely.
cool.
Absolutely. Life is all about creation and expansion. Everything you look at, you can see those, going back to metaphysics. I told you. I was
Yeah,
going to
let's
go there.
go. My
We were
audience
talking,
loves it. So do I.
we were talking about, what should we talk about? I was like, metaphysics, and here we are. But yeah, life is about creation and expansion. And I think expansion is a really good avenue to lead into, when it comes to female entrepreneurship. There's like this weird energy about talking about money, and women become uncomfortable talking about money for some reason. But we're building businesses that has to be profitable. We have to get comfortable with talking about money. And yeah, the more we talk about, the things that we can achieve, and going back to expansion, in order to expand, we live in a society or civilization where money is a tool that we use to do so. And money essentially is not the end, it's the tool that will allow us to get where we want to go. And if you're a spiritual person and you believe that you're expressing the creator, the more you have, the more you can do. So that should be a powerful motivator. If you're just driving towards the tool, I think that's really it's not really a destination per se. Just an avenue. Just have, what feeling do you want to create? When I started, mine was created around a feeling. I'm sure a lot of you feel this way. You want to have more freedom about, how your life plays out. And yeah, that's what I was pursuing. Money is not the end goal. It's just a part of the journey that I want to have more freedom. And I would love more women to have more freedom as well. And I know they do because I'm talking to a lot of women and I'm constantly networking. So they're sharing their thoughts with me. So yeah, I feel like I'm in my tribe.
Oh, I love that so much. And some of the things that I think are really important to highlight is first I want to talk about the whole money piece that you just mentioned. And not just, because I also love to mix the woo and the do, right? And so it's even more rampant, not just in the female entrepreneur community, but in the spiritual female entrepreneur community. It seems to be even more problematic around charging, and even, reading comments on some of these spiritual entrepreneurs. And they're like, you shouldn't charge for this kind of, and it's like, what is going on here? It's an exchange of energy. There's a production
Awesome.
involved. Like, this is not free for them to even produce, much less the
Yeah,
time that it takes. And it's just so interesting. And I believe, and I'd love to know what you think about this, and I won't go all up into conspiracy theories, but I think that some of this is by design, this broke spiritual sort of
absolutely.
archetype. And because heaven forbid, like you said, a lot of these spiritual entrepreneurs actually do step into their power around money and use it as the tool and to fuel their mission and create that ripple effect, right? And instead, everybody's apologizing about charging and staying in lack consciousness. And so it sort of like stalls that whole mission. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And I completely agree with you that money simply is just energy and doing business in an exchange of energy. But not only that, I think it's absolutely a good thing that people are critical for those that are. critical, you shouldn't charge that, because then it identifies who's not your client.
That
And
is
I don't
true.
think you should continue to cater to these people. It's not really your job to like force them to believe it if you're not ready. If when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And it's like you can bring the horse to the water, but you can't force it to drink. Just things like this you have to be conscious of. And I with entrepreneurship, which is why one of the reasons I love Women in Alignment is because, you started by saying you can do the woo and the do. You need both. You need the personal mindset, the spiritual energy, that inner work, personal development, the inner work, feeling good and all that. And you also have to take action as well. So it's like you need both. If you're just, on the spiritual side, but you don't believe in doing and exchanging energy, you're then really limited. And then you, I don't think you should be catering to everyone. And oftentimes, if I have a friend that I talk to quite a bit, one of the things that we talk about is like, if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And I have a very more masculine energy than I would say feminine energy, because I can make a decision without emotion involved. And I think sometimes that kind of clouds your judgment when you do have emotions. So it's very easy for me. And it's like when someone clearly identifies themselves either as a problem, and what's that word, an inconvenience, or just going to be very combative, like there's not going to be any progress, then okay, then you're telling me I need to, that's sometimes the universe telling you that, that's not for you as well. It's okay, you can complain, but you can complain over there. You get with me or get out of my way, pretty much.
Well, and I think you bring up a good point around like the mentality of what it takes to really be successful here is you want to talk to your right person, is not to be available for
Exactly.
everyone,
Yes.
and when we can do that and lead by example there, it seems to create that permission, even though no one needs anybody's permission, give yourself permission. However, but it creates that, okay, well, if she can do it this way, then I can too, instead of, well, I need to just be the cheapest thing. And then it's just a race to the bottom for everyone,
Which is crazy.
which is crazy because, I believe that knowledge is power, but even more so, and especially now, implementation and embodiment of knowledge is power. And, you know, I don't know about you, but I certainly didn't get to where I am in my business by, like not trying to invest in myself and expand and grow. And so instead of tearing people down who are charging because they worked decades in some cases, right, for the skill set that they have, and they want to teach it to you and shortcut you and your process, whether it's healing or in your business, and that's worth something, you
Yeah,
know and
absolutely.
and so I really believe if more people would just do their inner work around what that money story is,
Yeah.
because it's not the root of all evil. It just amplifies who you already are.
Yeah. It's interesting what you were talking about. I was on a call earlier, and this is exactly what we're talking about. And she was correcting me on that specific verse. She was saying, the love of money is the root of all evil.
Mm,
She specifically broke that up as well. And we were talking about, spiritual coaches and the anxiety they have around charging because
yes.
the audience that they're speaking to is not receptive to it, but told her the same thing. It's like they're not your audience, you're wasting time on them. And with entrepreneurship, that I had to learn the very, very hard lessons. There are going to be a lot of distractions. And the more you focus on these distractions, is the more time lost that you could have spent on something that you wanted or that you achieved. People are going to tell you that they don't believe in you, and not that they're bad people, simply because they just can't visualize themselves doing it or whatever inner trauma and background and yada yada
Yeah.
yada. They have, it's like that's where they speak from, but that has nothing to do with you. And oftentimes I'm kind of leaning a lot more into a lot of the Kabbalah teaching that talks about, they're very humble people, and
Mm.
they speak about, not really sharing your plans. Sometimes it's best not to share your plans until you actually achieve it, because then you have people who share doubts. But okay, let's go back to social media, and you have to talk about your business. The easiest solution is to get rid of the people. Probably should they get rid of, filter out those people, people, and
Well,
speak to the ones that want to hear you. Good.
and I think then that begs the question, like, how do you filter them out? And something that I tell my clients a lot is by speaking your truth, like we are right now. This
Hmm.
will filter out certain people, and that's okay. There may have been a period
Yeah.
in my life where I would have been like, ugh, and been
Yeah.
filtered myself out. But now I understand, and it's all about that journey. And if you don't, if you know, you know. And
Absolutely. One of the great things about social media is that you can personalize your experience. So, if someone's being negative online, block, delete, unfriend, you have so many options available to you. And once you get to a point in your life where you stop trying to prove, I know you said you would, speak or share. Once you get to a point in your life where you don't care to prove to anyone anything, it's one of the most freeing position where you don't feel the need to prove anything. You are so sure about what you're going to achieve, what you're going to pursue, the goals, which it gives you so much joy that you don't even have time for the nonsense. And you don't feel guilty, because it's just like I think we're women, and older women, we're wise, and we can determine when someone is genuinely curious and it's worth a conversation. But we can also, we have the intuition to know that this is going to be a waste of time. This is a person that just wants to cause problems, and you know what their intentions are. You can feel it. Going back to metaphysics as well, you have to
yeah,
be conscious of the energy as well, and you kind of determine how you want to respond to that. Do you want to spend your time proving yourself to someone who is committed to seeing you with whatever bias? If they're committed to it, they're not gonna, no matter what you say or do, they're not going to change your position. Don't waste time on them. Focus on the people that love you. This is something I had to remind myself of recently. I was having some challenging relationships, but then I was, there's what you focus on, you attract. So, okay, if I focus on this problem, I'm going to be attracting more of it. I don't want more of it. So I started to focus. I was like, you know what? I have a lot of great, fantastic relationships. I should focus on the ones that, light me up and fill me joy, and we pour into each other. And I was like, yeah, this feels better. I don't want to have time for this or argue or prove my point, or I don't care about none of
well,
that.
and there's
So just
there's there's so
yeah,
many people out there, so
yeah,
we especially on social media, that you really can just speak to the ones and they'll know your voice,
yeah. They want to hear.
versus trying to cater to everyone. Something that
Yeah,
I tell my clients, because it's so much easier said than done, right? Like, please divorce yourself from the fear of judgment. Like, do yourself
yeah,
a favor and remove that. But of course, right, it's easier said than done. But
yeah,
just something that simply helped me so much along the way, and I know some of my listeners have heard me say this before, is like a Dr. Seuss quote of all things. And it was, the
can't wait
ones
to
that
hear
mind don't
it.
matter, and the ones that matter don't mind.
Yeah,
And then I would just hit post or whatever, go live or whatever it was, and just reminding myself that I'm not for everyone, but I don't want to
yeah,
censor myself for the ones that don't want to hear what I have to say. I want to be louder for the ones that do.
yeah,
And when you can lead from that, and it does, and the more visible you get, the more, hate is gonna hate. Like, it's part of it.
more attention.
And but it's also a beautiful opportunity to work
Yes.
on those triggers. Like, what what about that comment? Like, where in my body, if somebody said that Jana and her green hair, I'd be like, what are they talking about? But if there's any part of me when I read a comment that
Yeah,
does kind of sting, then that's an opportunity, because
yeah,
it's not going to resonate with you if there's not something in there for you. And so, I used to avoid that and just kind of like, don't look over there. And now I do enough so that I can work through some of that because I don't want that to ever hold me back. I want to stay sharp on, not having some comment take me out because, I watch some of my mentors who are, even more visible, and some of it is brutal. It's not just like her hair looks bad. It's mean, you know? And so, well, tell me for you, because I want to talk about networking. Um, we've had several interviews. We're in the early stages of 2026, and we've been talking about a lot about like how to really stand out, how to really find your people, right? Like where are we going to do that best in 2026 and beyond? And I don't know about you. I know I'm a little biased with the approach that I like to take, but I don't think it's just going to be posting a bunch of content and being a content machine. And
Yeah.
I think networking
Yeah.
is making those connections. So tell me more about your networking and how you do it with the Women in Alignment group.
Yeah, absolutely. Networking works well if you are an introvert. Like if you are, Jana was just talking about, showing up on social media and being self-conscious. And if you're not ready for that step, a great alternative is the networking. And networking allows you to connect. Yeah, it allows you to connect with people on a much deeper, personal, and more impactful um, level, I would say. Social media is very impersonal and networking gives you a more personal experience. Of course, you have an option to do it virtually, which we offer with Women in Alignment. Alternatively, you can network in person. A lot of people also have some confusion about networking. Like they look at it like a task, something that they need to do, another thing to do up on my checklist. Oh my God, I have to go meet person. I need to dress. Are they going to like me? Here's the deal with networking. Networking does not have to be in a business setting. You can network at the grocery store. You can network at the post office. You can network at the kids' game. You can absolutely networking anywhere. Networking is all about making connections, genuine connections, and also nurturing those relationships. And those relationships can start literally anywhere. And if you have a great network, and this is a great way to know if you have a great network, is are they doing the work for you? Are they adding value to your life? Not just that, are you adding value? It should be a give and take situation as well. And following up with those people, don't make it feel like a task. I mean, if you need to, add something to your calendar, that's quite different. But just essentially keep those relationships. Here's the deal. When you have a great network, those people are going to be referring you in rooms that you're not. They're going to be bringing up your name simply because they like you. They may even offer you positions, introduce you to different people. So you have to be open-minded with networking. It doesn't have to be online. Doesn't have to be a paid experience. You can literally network anywhere. And it separates you from if you want to stand out in networking, that was Jana's question, the best way to do that is networking. Because it's like, are you going to remember the person that posted 3 days ago or what they were talking about? No. Are you going to remember the person you had a conversation with at the grocery shop? Yes, absolutely. So that's why you should be networking. It's like, okay. Yeah, it's fun. So just some
I
ideas.
I loved. Okay, so here's something interesting that really you just gave me a massive aha moment because
Well,
I think a lot of my clients, and this is a belief that I didn't even realize I had. So I'm going
I
to
love
just
it.
admit that right here and now. Um, that they think content is easier because they can hide, and networking is more, like you actually have to show up and have you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so I love your sort of flip. See, it's all perception, ladies and
Mhm.
gentlemen, because she has the exact opposite perception of that, which is if you're not ready to show up and be super visible on social media, networking is so much more powerful. And what I would say, just to bring it all home when it comes to networking, is the more you can be human with people, the more they
Yeah.
can feel your energy, your intention, especially, people like in Kay's group, Women in Alignment. These are spiritually led, conscious, open hearted entrepreneurs. And the more you can show up and give, come to give, and everybody's doing that, it's just like a beautiful love fest. And I think women are so naturally good at this, and so much of what's out there online and it is more push bro, like sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I won't go all into it today, but this is our zone of genius. So embrace it. Most of us aren't like content machines,
Yeah.
but we do love to connect with other women. And especially, I hear this over and over from my clients is like, no one in their direct life, including me, I don't have like an entrepreneur buddy that lives down the street from me. So
Yeah.
I fill my cup when I get in rooms with people like you and people like you listening, because it's like, here's the people that get what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They understand when I'm talking about all this stuff. It's kind of funny though. You get in rooms with people that don't do this stuff and they're like, you were on a podcast? I'm like, I have my own podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't even, it's a totally different life.
Yeah.
And so do yourself that favor. If you're sitting around there, out there listening, and you're like, I just need more information and I need more clarity and I gotta post more. For the love of God, please do yourself a favor and understand what truly foundationally, just like sales, is really what drives a business. Relationships are what drive a business. And knowing how to go in and serve and connect. And I love how you said, not check a box. You're not doing this. You're not an employee.
Yeah.
You're a business owner. Go shine your light somewhere.
Yeah.
And I think, and facing, like AI and everything, this is where you stand out. You want to know where your people are? They're in these rooms.
Yeah.
And so I love that. And I think it is the fastest way to, start really making that mission a reality, of getting to six figures and beyond, like however you want to quantify it. Posting and hoping, posting and ghosting, as they say,
Yeah.
is the
It's not
long
gonna work.
game.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely the long game. And bringing back AI into the conversation, I think there's a lot of, well, I shouldn't say that. There is this perception that AI is going to replace all of us, but on the contrary, like I actually believe it's going to make humans more valuable
I do
because
too.
people are going to get tired of it. Like I mean, it's
Right.
good, but for customer service, for example, it's like sometimes you want to talk with a person and AI just doesn't get it. And I think people are going to miss that human connection and we're going to be valuable. And I think there is a hint of that with Meta, for example. If you join their paid subscription, you can get human help just to show you that, that's actually like a premium service now. So it's like a small step, but we'll see where that goes. And a trick with networking as well, or if you want to do it effectively, something to keep in mind is you want to be clear about what you do. Because if you're going to spend time with people and share anything, make sure that you're clear about what you do. So if they're going to recommend you, they know exactly what they're recommending you for and make sure that's like memorable. That's like for business or like for casual conversations, just have fun and see how it goes. And also be intentional. Why are you going? Don't just be like, okay, I'm just gonna go and see what happens. Okay, if you want to check the place out or just see, I don't know, prep yourself, then that's optional. But also, go with some intention. What's your ask? You're gonna go make sure that you have an ask. Don't be afraid to ask for favors. You'll be so surprised, especially when you meet other female entrepreneurs, that there are a lot of women out there that want to help. But if you don't say anything, they don't know they can't help. So just simply share and see all these incredible women support you in that. So be clear about what you do, have intention, and have one clear ask. Those would be like my top three tips.
That's so good. And in the asking piece, if I can just drive that home, one of the very first lessons I learned in my sales career is what you'll find is a lot of salespeople are great at like presenting, but then
Yeah.
it all falls apart when they go and like make the ask or close,
Yeah.
however you want to put that. And you know that because you did sales as well. And so
Yeah.
one of my managers early on was like, you can't assume they know what to do. Never assume they know what to do. People are busy, they're doing their thing. You have to be like lovingly direct. He didn't say that. I added the loving, but you have to be direct. And he's like, for example, like, Kay, let's say I loaned you $5. Would you pay me back? And I'm the one like he's asking. I was like, well, yeah, I mean, sure. Well, what if I loaned you $5 and I said, please pay me back within 1 week? Are you going to pay me back? And I'm like, yes. And
Yeah.
it's just, there's nothing wrong with it's just not assuming they know what to do and kind of leaving it. Right.
Yeah.
So I think it's so important. And it's such a miss. Like I just had a call with a client earlier and we talked about like, how are you utilized? She's like, I refer people all the time. And I'm like, are you asking for referrals? Because
Good question.
like that's beautiful. That just means you have, if you are into Kabbalah, then like there's that bread of shame piece. Like there's an energetic container then for you to now receive. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And so we put together because sometimes people have a hard time, like, just say it like this. And there so just that move will create countless more people to come to her next master class or event just by asking. I even had another coach who has worked, it's so funny. She's like putting together this offer, but I don't know where any high ticket buyers are. And meanwhile, she's worked and done events for Tony Robbins. She's been on the phone with like Eli Wild as of last week. She's done stuff
Mhm.
for Russell Brunson. I'm like, honey, there's a whole network of people, right? Like
Yeah.
for forever, you're done. The end. Like you've already got the connections. You just have to learn how to show up and, of course, give first, but then ask because people are just not utilizing their networks, you know?
Yeah.
So
That's
don't be
key.
the networker. I think the moral of the story that I wanted, don't be the networker that just comes, meets a bunch of people, leaves, the end. That's
Yeah,
not it.
exactly. Yeah.
So, one last question I have for you around this. Any tips, because you're so right. Something we do at the Perfect Your Pitch party is walk people through a proper introduction, right? Try to make it
Yeah.
fun. We try not to be like, I'm Jana, I help. So, I give them like some different prompts so that they kind of like can get the marbles out of their mouth and like be memorable.
Yeah.
So, what do you have like one specific tip or something that you tell people so that when they're introducing themselves, their ideal client or a potential affiliate partner or referral partner goes, oh, that person I need to go talk to? Is there anything at all that you would recommend?
What I recommend, three tips when it comes to introduction. One, be clear. Two, make sure it's memorable, what you added, and also make sure it's repeatable.
Mm,
But
that's good.
when it comes to memorable, one of the really great things, it depends. If it's a referral party, you can tell stories. That's how you really make them memorable. Also, there's this one, I forgot what his name is called. See, I remember the pitch. Someone came to our networking meeting, but they shared they were at a pitch party and there was oh, see, now I remember his name because of the story. He had this incredible name. He told a story, but he was a clown and his name was Balloonatic. Also,
Oh,
like a name like like a name like that, you also like remember like okay, it's the guy, the clown that does the balloon, but she told the story behind it as well. And if I was doing an introduction, I'd probably share my background, oh my love, when I was younger, I wanted to be a Spice Girl. My goal was to become a scary Spice. Never worked out, but it's still hashtag girl power. So still on a mission to make it the Spice World.
So funny.
Yeah, just make it memorable, have fun, just be genuine and authentic too. It's like be authentic because if you're pretending or performing, it's not going to be sustainable. And yeah, simply just not going to be sustainable, but be authentic, have fun, and you'll connect with the right people if you show up as yourself and you want to connect with the right people as well. That's key.
And you expect to connect with the right people,
Yeah, when
which
you ask.
again, not to get all wooey, not from a place of attachment, but from just a place of a knowing, which are very different energetically. One is like, oh, where are the people? Whereas the other's like,
Yeah.
it's cool. I know the right people are here and I'm going to meet them.
Yeah.
Um,
People, if I could add just a bit to that very
yeah.
quickly, people can feel your energy. When you show up in
Yes.
rooms like that, they can feel the energy. I just wanted to point that
So
out.
true.
So,
And I actually am glad you said that because you said that earlier and I wanted to speak to that as well. And that is like, listen, if I haven't said it enough here, let me say it again for the people in the back. You cannot fake your frequency. We're
yeah,
at an energetic level now where those who know who they are and aren't afraid to shine that beautiful light their way, like if there's any like winning to this, like those people are going to win. And it's because more than ever, you feel it. I feel it. Kay, I'm sure you feel it. Like you can feel it when somebody's not being honest. You can feel it when somebody's like saying, just not like faking it. Like it's, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Do you feel like you can feel it now more than ever? I know I
yeah,
do.
absolutely. I can definitely sense the energy when I work with people, but I also consider, where are they coming from? What is their
Yeah, this
intention?
is not
Well,
judgment. It's
yeah,
just you want to learn how to navigate who you are and be who
yeah,
you came here to be
yeah,
because everybody else is taken and you're supposed to be you. And the more you own that, I don't know, energetically, it just is yummy to your
correct.
people. I don't know what it is. So, well,
Thank you.
thank you so much, Kay, for being here.
Okay.
And I'm so glad that we got to talk about networking in this way because I think it can be such a powerful way, not just to connect with others and really be human to human, but even to test some of your
Yeah,
messaging to see what's landing, what
yeah,
people go, like when that was how the woo and the do was born. Like people were like, I love that. And so nothing like real time feedback. Well, I know you came with an invitation for everybody, so please take it
sure.
away, how people can find you. And don't worry, all this will be in the show notes as well.
Absolutely. Ladies, if you'd like to connect and meet other women who have a similar interest, I would invite you to join our Women in Alignment business networking community. And there's kind of a fake. Look for the one with the 86,000 members. That would be us.
Yeah, that one.
Sorry.
That one. Well, awesome. So good to have this conversation with you. And thank you to everybody else that was listening today. I hope you had some great nuggets from networking. Don't hold back. This is really where it's the time for you to shine. And so thanks for listening, and we will see you again next time. Bye for now. So much for listening, and I have an amazing gift for you. If you're ready to hit those 10K, 20K, 50K months and beyond, I created a next level you meditation so that you can take action and embody your higher self each day to quantum leap your business. Please listen up, review this podcast, screenshot the review and share it on social and tag me, the Authentic Sales Coach, on either Facebook or IG. And I will send you this special gift as a massive thank you.